Did you hear about Spider-Man being in the? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only for PlayStation.
PlayStation exclusive. So I've been reading the article where they're like, oh yeah, we've partnered up with Crystal Dynamic on bringing Spider-Man exclusively for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, which I'm like, okay, why is that an exclusive? I don't understand how now this one character is now being exclusive now for one specific console.
I mean, it's incentive to get it on their shit. Like, we got the beta keys for PC because overall, obviously PC is just generally better in certain aspects, obviously, of course. So there's just an incentive saying it's like, oh, get the game on our stuff and you'll be able to get one of your favorite characters.
But I think that now we're crossing a line where it's just not fair, because if you look at it, that Marvel's Ultimate Alliance that came exclusively to the Switch, Spider-Man was in there and you didn't need to play it on PlayStation, which I think now we're getting to the point where is Sony just being anti-consumer? Like, how is that fair to fans in general? First off, this is not a connective to the actual Marvel Spider-Man game at all. It's Crystal Dynamics' own version of Spider-Man. So, I mean,
there's another thing. With each new character, are we getting more story and stuff? Because after an initial relaunch, and then Hawkeye has his own story, I think it was 20 characters and stuff. The next 12 characters that we're getting, are each of them going to get a personalized story to go with their character, or are they just going to be added in where you can just play as them? Because if you're not getting more story than the Spider-Man exclusive, it's really not that different, because you're just getting Spider-Man, but you're not getting more story.
Apparently there's going to be a specific mission that incorporates why Spider-Man is there. Basically an event that's gonna it's gonna actually be story. It might be a few hour story, maybe 2-3 hours of story that includes it, that'll come with Hawkeye too. So that's the thing, why is now Sony just being well, it's only exclusive? It's I don't think that's fair when it comes to the general public. First off, now they're basically saying, hey, if you want Spider-Man, you need to buy a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5, which I think is kind of shitty for people that already pre-ordered the Marvel's Avengers game for PC or Xbox. It's come and spend fucking $300 or $600 on the latest new console and you can play as Spider-Man on Marvel's Avengers, which I just think is kind of shady on their part. I feel why would you make it exclusive? And first off, they never even said anything about making characters exclusive to each brand, which I just don't understand. Why wasn't this a specific thing that they should have said early when the game was being announced? I don't
hinted at it, or just let people know it's oh, we're gonna be putting a little extra in our game for PlayStation, and then obviously people would have been oh, it's gonna be Spider-Man.
I mean, you literally announced this a month before the game's release worldwide, so it's why did you end up just dropping the ball? I just don't understand.
Why? We know why, John. Money. It's all about money and stuff. They know what they're doing. You're saying anti-consumerism, but it's yes and no. They're making a cult. They're trying to bring back the console wars that hasn't been around for 5 years.
They've been so pro-consumer when it comes to their past fucking couple of years with the PlayStation, or the past 8 years with the PlayStation 4. I feel
that's PlayStation 4, John. We're moving on to PlayStation 5. The 5 is a dollar sign. You didn't know that, but the 5 is actually a dollar sign.
I know the 5 is a dollar sign. It's I just don't
thumbnail right there. PS5 with the 5 as a dollar sign, or the S.
I'm gonna do it like that. Fucking, I feel it's just now we were getting off on a good track, and now it's just well, we're gonna hit you with these things that are literally going to be oh, fuck you. It's okay.
That's the thing. Were they really getting off on the right track? 1, still no pricing. 2, their showcase, there was some good games and stuff, but Xbox had some good games too and stuff. Nothing really, oh my god, I need to get this, but besides Horizon and Spider-Man, but that, I said, that stuff I can wait, honestly. And then just like I said, their whole thing right now is being flashy and stuff. So you have the new console design, which that's what they're were banking on for like this console war in quotation marks that like don't exist.
Yeah.
They have now exclusive things for games that are going to be coming out. It's like, oh, but if you get on ours, you'll get a little something from us and stuff. And then with like the PlayStation Now or whatever and stuff, like with games being cross compatible, only a few games are coming over and stuff. You know, it's like they're anti-consumer, yes, but in the sense where they're trying to just get people just to be with them and only with them, and are excluding way other people who just maybe want a PlayStation 5, but like now like they're being pushed away because they're seeing it's like, oh, it's either PlayStation or nothing. And it's like people are going past that. People are gaming on the PC, on the Switch, on their phones, Xbox, PlayStation, fucking KFC's coming out with a gaming console. Console. You know what I mean? It's just like they're trying to like make a cult. That's like the best way I can put it and stuff.
100%. I've honestly have come to realize that Xbox's open ecosystem of you guys, we want to include everything for fans. We want to make it at a reasonable cost. We also want to have it open to everybody. I feel like they have had the shit kicked out of them since their Xbox One release back in November of 2013, and even the press conferences, they just got their teeth kicked in because of heads of Xbox literally dropping the ball with making it more of a TV console or movie console instead of actually focusing on the games. But now with Xbox now getting on the right track, I feel like if this was this situation, I don't think they would have made that. I feel like it's just PlayStation feels like, you know what, we've been able to make a lot of money, and why not continue it with making a specific exclusive. At least when they've had their exclusives or a specific game itself, they at least announce it ahead of time. But then it's like with Spider-Man, it's like, oh, a month before, let's just tell you that Spider-Man's coming out, and it's gonna be coming with only a PlayStation exclusive. I mean, if I would understand if this game I would understand if Spider-Man, this specific Spider-Man, was from Marvel Spider-Man, that's going to be included in Marvel's Avengers. But if it's just a random Spider-Man, I think when we're getting to an exclusive for one character, it kind of sucks. It's like, I just don't see
this is just like on the side of PlayStation, maybe, like, you know, because you want to look at both sides. Maybe they wanted to announce it from the beginning, but they had to work things out with Marvel first, because like it is Square Enix who's making the game, but it is still a Marvel title and stuff. So I'm sure there was some hoops that I had to probably go through just to be like, listen, like, yeah, like, this is your game, we just want to put our character in there to help our console, you know? With, like I said, it's just like, you know, it's incentive to like get the thing, and maybe they just couldn't get it passed in time, because like when the game was announced, oh, Marvel's Avengers, it's like, oh yeah, guys, if you get it on our new console, you'll get something special. But then like the deal falls through with Marvel, and they can't do it, and they have to retract that. That looks bad. So it's better to wait to make sure, instead of promising something and not coming through. But no, I 100% agree with you that like this is just like a weird time to like do it after people already, you literally bought the beta key like what, like a few days ago and stuff. And like, not to say like having Spider-Man was make us play on PlayStation, but like it's just people already bought their shit, and I'm sure that's really mad because now they either have to cancel or they just have to deal with it and stuff. And I mean,
I just think that ends up like sucking for those people that honestly pre-order. Like, that sucks, honestly. Those people are like, oh yeah, I can't wait for Spider-Man to show up in Marvel's Avengers, and it's just like, well, he's only exclusive to PlayStation. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of douchey.
Which is weird because like there's so, like you said, there's like Marvel vs. Capcom, my Marvel's Future game on my phone and stuff. That includes Spider-Man.
Which
and it's
understand.
Like, so Spider-Man's not like a right to the games, or like I don't know how those contracts work out anyway.
When it comes to Spider-Man, there's no exclusivity to where it could be used. That's the only thing. Like, I mean, if it's like a specific Marvel game, it's not exclusive to only PlayStation. I just feel like they're literally fucking swinging their big dick around and be like, yo, you want this? Yeah, you got to get this on PlayStation. I mean, for Marvel vs. Capcom, they had him for fucking the Ultimate Alliance, which just came out this past year.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance
Or
3,
last
right?
year. Yeah, Ultimate Alliance 3 that came out last year, last summer. I mean, that was not an exclusive. I mean, they had X-Men. That wasn't an exclusive. Like, I mean, yes, it was only on Nintendo Switch, but fucking PlayStation didn't say, like, oh, yeah, you want this? Well, Nintendo, you have to make this specifically for PlayStation. It's like, I just don't see where the line, like, falls for this. It's a weird thing that I've seen. I mean, they've done this.
I'm telling you, it's all about Flash now. It's about branding and looks. Like I'm on the PlayStation News, and now I'm reading something about like PS5 ready TV that Sony's trying to make and stuff. So it's like you got the headphones, you got the remote, you got the controllers, the new console, a TV. Are they going to start selling gaming chairs and gamer fuel next? You know, it's like it's about branding. And it's like saying, and now they're trying to brand Marvel's Avengers, saying it's like, listen, well, it's like, yeah, Spider-Man. So it's really a Marvel's Avengers game. So come to us. And it's like, that's fucked up for Square Enix. It's fucked up for the customers. It's fucked up for Marvel. It's fucked up for everyone but Sony. But like I said, it's like, Sony isn't just like one person. It's a whole collaborative corporation.
Oh, yeah.
And as a corporation, money is always the first incentive.
I even put this even on, like, no offense to Crystal Dynamics. I even put this on Crystal Dynamics. If honestly they could have said, like, we don't think this is fair. First off, they're not even making money out of this, because you gotta also remember, every DLC that comes out for the Avengers game is free. So it's like, it's not like,
but like that could change, you know, or like, there's DLC that's free, but then there's the exclusive DLC that has 20 more missions, and you know what I mean.
They said, that's the thing, they can't go back on that, because literally their press conference, and they keep on saying that, this is what it says, I'm reading this on PlayStation. We can't wait for you to add Spider-Man to your Marvel's Avengers roster in early 2021, and we've promised before, he will be available at no additional cost to owners of the base game exclusively on PlayStation. They've even said this, that that literally all the DLC will be free at no cost. So what is the money that you're making out of the Spider-Man? I mean, he's free, so why can't he go to other consoles? I just don't understand. If it was like
I kind of understand, John, because it's like, it's Sony, you know. Sony, Spider-Man is hot right now. Miles Morales into the Spider-Verse, Tom Holland, Venom. I'm excited for Morbius still, even though fuck Jared Leto's Joker. Like, you know what I mean? So it'd be weird, like, seeing like you playing Marvel's Avengers on the Switch and Spider-Man's there, you know. I understand that, you know, or like on an Xbox, you know. It's like, I understand why that, like, it's right, but like in terms of like console exclusivity, it's like, yeah, I can see where like Sony's like, well, yeah, just put it in our version of the game. Now, I think it's bad because there's nothing for PC or like Xbox, you know, like Xbox not like, Master Chief joins the Avengers, you know, or like PC, like the Portal characters are joining the Avengers. You know, there's no exclusivity to each console. It's only for Sony, so it seems like they're just being greedy.
But that's where we get into companies that own a specific character, like Sony that owns Spider-Man. I mean, if Xbox owned the X-Men, they could have made that exclusive. I mean, that sucks for like Xbox or PC that can't get an exclusive like that, because they don't own those rights to those characters, so they don't have an incentive to their fucking gaming fans.
PlayStation buying Spider-Man was like the smartest idea that they ever did, because it's literally been making them bank.
I mean, yeah, of course, because Sony always, it's the way. I mean,
it made them enough money where they could be like, all right, let's make a console that doesn't fucking sound like a jet engine. Let's actually make it a sleek design with good parts, you know, because they finally have the money to do that. Not saying they didn't have the money before, but now they have lucrative funding because how hot Spider-Man is. So I can see why they're riding fucking Spider-Man's coat webs, because they want to, until like Spider-Man's dead, they're going to be fucking pushing that shit super hard.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I'm upset about it too, but like at the same time, like, I understand it.
Yeah, I understand it. I'm not losing sleep over it. I mean, like, I've seen people like, oh, this is ridiculous. Who's gonna buy this? I mean, yeah, I understand people.
When you boil down to it, anti-consumer, yes, because they're excluding others because for like content. They're taking content away from others by saying it's like, well, you have to be with us, and that's, you know, it's like, that's anti-consumerism kind of. At least Xbox tries to be like open with their shit.
Yes, I mean, they've even gone to the point where they've even brought some of their games to Switch. Switch has brought. Has Switch brought anything to Xbox? No, it's only been Xbox.
No, I told you, Nintendo, it's its own fucking thing, bro.
But Xbox has brought their stuff to Switch, so it's like they're trying to make it available for other people. So they brought like Ori and the Blind Forest. They
or
brought
more
Cuphead.
accessible, you know, being
like
able to play it
yeah.
wherever.
I mean, they've even put Cuphead on PlayStation last week. I mean,
I did see that.
I mean, an Xbox exclusive on a PlayStation console. So it's like when you boot up your PlayStation and you fucking get Cuphead, it's like an Xbox game exclusive. It's like, that's weird.
And that's another thing. Death Stranding, Horizon Zero Dawn, both PlayStation exclusives now on the PC and stuff. So it's like PlayStation isn't saying they're not afraid to like give things to others, but it's like, what's the cause of it? I think if enough people are mad and rant about this, PlayStation might be like, all right, well, for the first year you'll get 2022, every other game will get Spider-Man, but the first year you'll get only PlayStation. Maybe they'll do something like that to fix the problem, because I know a lot of people are upset because, like I said, Spider-Man's hot. He's a lot of people's favorites. A lot of children growing up in the, well, you know, we had Tobey Maguire and Wolverine and Blade and shit, but like a lot of kids growing up now had the MCU and Tom Holland, you know, like Spider-Man. Everyone loves Spider-Man. There's not a single person who can't say they don't like Spider-Man. So it's just like, it's upsetting to a lot of kids who like only have a PlayStation. Their parents are not going to go out and buy them like probably a $500 to $600 PlayStation just so they can play Spider-Man for a single game, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you look at it, and with like the timed exclusive, like, I know there's games that do the timed exclusive. I mean, Final Fantasy does time exclusive where it's like, oh, it's on PlayStation for the specific time. They did the same thing with the Tomb Raider games at the beginning. The first two were timed exclusive.
Made by Square Enix, right?
And it was only on Xbox, and it was a timed exclusive for, if I'm not mistaken, a year or 6 months, but I'm saying it was a year. If they would say like, hey, Marvel's Spider-Man is going to be a PlayStation exclusive for 6 months or a year, it's like, okay, at least you know it's coming to the console. It's coming to your specific console or PC. It's coming to Xbox or PC. I think that's then not the best thing, but I mean, I believe people would be very understanding, but just making it a sole purpose of making it only exclusive to PlayStation kind of just is a letdown to a lot of people. Like, does this bother me? I mean, if I like the game, I mean, not really. I'll just watch gameplay. I don't think it's going to change the game overall. I mean, like, a few hour story mission, not a big deal. I mean, would it be cool to see those characters all combined together? Yeah, the game will probably be on sale literally in 2021. So those people that are upset too, look at it this way: if you own a PlayStation and you were thinking about getting this on a PC or your Xbox, literally just wait a fucking few months and that game will be on sale. Literally, it's like, it says early 2021. The game will go on sale easily in December, even January. I mean, Black Friday's coming up in November. You'll get that shit on sale. I mean, let's be honest, it'll be on sale. So
is Marvel's Avenger cross-platform?
No.
No, alright, that's another issue. So it's like, if you have a friend on Xbox, you can even show them your sweet Spider-Man skills.
I mean, no. I mean, the only way you'd be able to see is through YouTube,
watching it online,
Twitch, yeah. I mean,
or literally buying a PlayStation.
Yeah, really it is. But getting off the Spider-Man topic, we were going to talk about another thing with PlayStation. I mean, it's just been PlayStation Day today. I mean, with them their announcements, I mean, it's really not looking good for them. I mean, they've been really painting a picture about it. Can PlayStation 4 controllers be used on PlayStation 5? So you heard about this too. I heard about this. Basically, you can't use your PlayStation 4 controller for PlayStation 5 games. Only for PlayStation 4 exclusive games. Or just PlayStation 4 games in general. I mean, that's really fucking stupid. I mean,
either make it so you can't use the controller at all, or make it so you can use at least most of the games. Because I understand they're trying to implement like the the motion sensor, 3D acoustic sound, or whatever and stuff. But like, the games don't necessarily need all that. You still could be able to play the games with the PS4 controller. So why not?
I mean, you literally, if you're so concerned about that, can't your developers literally put, when you start up the game, the button, are you using a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5 controller?
Exactly.
PlayStation
it's that
4
simple.
you don't get the haptic feedback that you'd get on the PlayStation 5. So it's like, I look at that and it's like those people that literally spent, it adds up. I mean, like, people that bought fucking PlayStation controllers year after year because if their PlayStation controller broke or they just wanted a new color design,
which like they were cheaply made. PlayStation 4 controllers are cheaply made.
Yeah,
like literally, I have hardwood floors. I drop it once, and I'm afraid that it'll split open or like something's wrong with it immediately.
I mean,
and they're expensive too, like $60 with tax, so like 65, 60. And yeah, you can get it cheaper on some places, but if you went to like somewhere like GameStop or like somewhere because you just wanted it immediately because you want to play and stuff, then that's $60 to $70 out of your pocket. And like if you're a rage gamer, which you know a lot of people, some people are and stuff, it's like then you're buying a controller every few months and stuff. And then don't even get me wrong about the gunk. And I've tried to open my controller to fix it and clean it before, and I lost one of the little springs, and it was impossible to put back together. And it's just like it sucks. The controller sucks. So with this new controller, yeah, it's better, but like at the same time, is it still going to be easily broken and stuff, and how much is it going to cost? $80?
I mean, it'll be fucking fragile. I mean, then we're getting to the point of now you need to buy a PlayStation 5 controller that's going to be probably on the same par as a new generation video game. So a video game that's $70, you're literally going to need to spend $80 or $85 for a new controller. I don't see that controller being $60 like the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4. I mean, there's no way. I mean, this controller is going to be, I guess, very sensitive, so it's going to be
exactly a simple drop could break the sensitivity features or like the sound inside and
the haptic feed, the rumble that you're supposed to be getting. I mean,
which leads to another thing. Will places to be selling covers for like their PlayStation 5 controllers, so that way they're not easily broken, which is just more money spending $20, like a phone case spending $20 for something that's supposed to save this thing. You know, it's just like money after money.
I mean, we're getting into now a new generation of consoles that are literally going to be more expensive, along with a new generation of games that are going to be more expensive. And I think it's now going to be on the consumers themselves to be like, is this worthwhile? Am I really going to look into spending $600 or $500, $600, and on top of that,
let's say $500.
Okay,
let's say the console is $500, and then you have like a sibling or you want to play like a 2-player game, so $80. Let's just say for a second controller,
plus,
and then
$70 for a video game,
which like on release, like you know, like maybe Spider-Man upon release, and then Godfall, which is free, I guess, or
no?
I'm guessing free with the console. You have to buy it.
No, you have to buy it. No, it's not free. There's
so
no free.
If you want to try out that, because like what other games are there, and then
I mean,
a few indie games or like.
I mean, which I want to get to before you get to that. I'm actually shocked that PlayStation hasn't said that. Oh, when you buy a PlayStation 5, there's an exclusive game that comes with it. I mean, Xbox, if I'm not mistaken, they've said that if you buy an Xbox Series X, you get Halo Infinite. I mean, it comes with the game. It comes with the console itself. So.
Well, I'm sure once they come out with the price, they'll come out with like this limited edition shit. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, get this one, the Godfall limited edition. You get Godfall and Horizon on it or some shit. You know?
I mean, I don't even know if they're gonna even do an exclusive like that. I mean, like, are they really gonna go on par with their actual console with themselves? I don't see it, unless they're marketing that motherfucker to be more expensive, that exclusive one. Like,
well, yeah, slightly more expensive, but less expensive than getting everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you spend like $10 extra getting the exclusive bundle because it comes with the game, you're saving that like now would be $60.
I mean, yeah. So this is what I'm on the article itself. Which exciting PS4 accessories will work on PS5? Such as official licensed racing wheels, arcade sticks, fighting sticks will work on PS5 game and supported PS4 games. Platinum and gold wireless headsets are, as well as third-party headsets that connect via USB port or audio jack, will be supported on PS5. The headset companion app is not compatible with the PS5. And then the DualShock.
What about the PlayStation VR? You know what I mean? Because that has special.
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. But the PS Move motion controller and the PSVR controller will work with supported PSVR games on PS5. Will the DualShock 4 work with PS5 games? No, we believe that PS5 games should take advantage of new capabilities and features we're bringing to the platform, including the feels of DualSense wireless controller. I mean, you could just make the option of just turning that on and off. I don't understand. If the PlayStation camera from PS4 is compatible with PS5, yes, the PlayStation camera will work with PS5 for playing supported VR games. It will require a PlayStation camera adapter that will be provided at no additional cost to PSVR users. More details on how to get that adapter will be announced on a later date. So you're gonna have to.
So you have to go through hoops to get this adapter if you want to use your VR. Like you have to write an email, send them a picture of your your asshole in the VR to make sure it's you, and then you fucking.
I mean. Okay. So
I mean, at least they're trying. At least I know you have to jump through hoops. At least that's something.
But what do you have to? But my thing is, what do you have to jump through hoops for VR? Like, I mean, what is? This is where I'm trying to understand what is it that's blocking them from doing this with just going bypass the fucking adapter and bypassing through the controller itself. I just mean, why can't they just add this? I mean, why do you have to get an adapter? I mean, I know the adapter will cost like what, 20 bucks?
Well, it's because on the PS4 there's a port for the camera and then there's the port for the VR. There's specific ports, so if they don't have those ports within the console and stuff, and they couldn't find room to put it in there without making the console bigger, understandable as long as you're getting the adapter free. But the controller thing, I'm 100% with you. That's fucking stupid. Just literally have an option at the beginning of the game. Which are you playing with? Or have it so it recognizes if it's a PS4 or PS5, and then it just does it.
It's the same fucking controller, just wider, and it has some different features. Wow, you don't need those. Honestly, I guarantee they're gonna have an option. Would you like to turn these features on and off for your DualSense 5? It's yes. So why can't you just make that bypass through the fucking controller itself? I mean, it defeats the purpose. It's like those people that just are buying a PlayStation, that just bought a PS4 a couple of months ago, that want to turn to PS5, can't use their controller that they already have if they have guests come over, so they can use those fucking, I mean, if we're over this pandemic, but I mean, if you can't use that PS4 controller, it ends up sucking. I mean, then you have to
you have to go and buy an expensive ass controller. Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, an $80 controller, and I guarantee they'll be like, oh no, it's not gonna be expensive. Of course, it's gonna be expensive. I mean, all those things that are coming for the PlayStation are gonna be expensive. The camera's gonna be $70. It's an HD camera, $70. The headphones are gonna be $150. The console, we said let's just make it fucking $500. The controller's $80. It does add up at the end. I mean, you're almost to what, $700? I mean,
yeah, a lot. You need an easily $2,000 if you want to make sure you can get everything you want, and then plus some when they're coming out with games. Which at that point you can literally get a cheap PC, and Xbox, knowing that you'll at least have access to a lot of shit.
Or you could literally get a PC and Xbox Game Pass. I mean, come on. I'm you play their games on your PC still. I mean, I know people are enthralled about, oh yeah, PlayStation 5, yeah, it's good. I'm excited for it, but at the end of the day, it's
all bells and whistles right now.
At the end of the day, yeah, it's just bells and whistles. And the thing is, we still don't have the price, and on top of that, all this stuff is going to be overpriced.
Because the games are to the developers, so we can't even really include the games like Horizon, because that's all to the developers. As of right now, they're selling the console, and as of right now, it's just all flair. But where's the sustenance? What's the security for people who already have it, and for the people that want to switch over? What's the security? You're just saying, be with us, and we promise you good stuff.
I mean,
But where is the good stuff?
I mean, if we're comparing, if we're still on the controller thing, I mean, Xbox has been keen on being like, hey, your Xbox One controller, your original Xbox controllers, your Xbox One controllers, or your One S, or your Series, or your Xbox One X controllers that you guys have, they transfer over to the new consoles. You don't have to worry. It's like, okay, cool. It's like I don't have to go and spend on the same controller again. It's like, it's just with PlayStation, it's like, well, you need to buy this new controller. We want money and we need it now. It's like then,
as an everyday normal consumer who's like middle class, who can afford luxuries and stuff, that's just like, they're like, without even giving us a solid price yet, you could already tell it's just like gonna be so much money. People will argue, oh well, you got a controller that can vibrate and sound, look at the design, it's so cool and this and that, but it's just like, at the end of the day, it really does come down to money, you know, like as people buying shit and as a company selling it. And like, that's the thing, it's like you're asking way too much for very little. Well, for like Spider-Man and Marvel's Avenger, like that's not an enticing feature that'll make me spend a few $100s. I can spend a few $100s to get a Spider-Man costume and start jizzing people in fucking public, and I can be Spider-Man. Why would I spend money on a console for like a few hours of gameplay of Spider-Man when I could just play my Spider-Man on my PlayStation 4?
I mean, yeah, it's really fucking stupid. I'm actually doing the calculation right now on the pricing. Like almost $1,000. I mean, like the pricing. Like you look at PS5, it's like 500 with the taxes. It's like what, like 510. Controller $80. Headphones $150. The TV controller, let's say $30. The charging dock $30. The camera $65. That's like up to like almost, I think it's almost at $900. I mean, you're best at just getting a PC itself, or you could just get an Xbox console. I mean, yes, you want to get it for the exclusives itself, like Horizon, Spider-Man, God of War, the next Hideo Kojima game, if it's an exclusive to the PlayStation 5. I mean, it's understandable, but is it worth $1,000, almost $1,000 at this point? I mean, with everything, I mean, nobody's gonna buy everything all at once. There's gonna be a couple of people that end up doing that, but I mean, the mass majority will end up going for the controller, the headphones, the camera, the console itself. But it's still upwards to like $600, and it's almost like $700, or it's at $700. I mean, I just don't see the perks of even getting that. It's yes, you're getting all the stuff, but I mean, are you going to be playing like non-stop with the PlayStation 5 if you have a PC or an Xbox? I mean, we're both PC owners, we both have PlayStations. I mean, I'd rather just play my stuff on the fucking PC if I can. I know you would do the same thing too. I mean, we're not running out day one to go get this console. I mean, at first I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go pick this up, but at the end of the day, with all this information that's now coming out, I mean, it's like, it looks like, I'll end up just waiting for this thing for next year. I mean, I'm not getting anything that's changing. I mean, with Spider-Man, even with Spider-Man, them coming out with, I don't know if you heard about this, if you get the Miles Morales, you'll get Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered. So, are you making Spider-Man Remastered free with an update and a patch, or is it that you have to spend an extra $10 or $20 like we've discussed before? Are you going to make fucking your hardcore PlayStation fans or just general consumers spend an extra money on that game itself? I mean, do you think that they would actually go down that route, making people spend extra money just to get an upgraded version of the game itself that they already own?
It's like, I want to say no, but like I said, like as of right now, it's a strange time. It's like, it seems like a lot what they're just trying to get as much as possible. Like, so let's say you download your Spider-Man to your PlayStation 5 from your PlayStation 4, and then what? When you try to open it, it's like, oh, you buy to be able to play, you have to buy the upgraded version for $10 and stuff. I think that'd be honestly so ridiculous, and that would have to be something they would have to tell you before you bought the console. Because if you bought the console and that shit happened, the negative feedback, like, would have a serious impact on their stocks and stuff. Because like that's just disgusting. That's like literally EA with their microtransactions, or any mobile game that
2K, yeah, honestly,
or 2K with their just like
gambling. It's to the point where it's like it's so stupid, honestly. Like, and with the rumor of them adding the PlayStation, that the Marvel Spider-Man is gonna be remastered. I mean, are you gonna then, if they don't do that, and you want like the high quality that you would get with Spider-Man, with the ray tracing, with the better graphics, are you going to have to go and upwards spend another $60 for the game itself just to get the better quality? If they're not adding that update, you still get the PS4 version, but it's going to look like a PS4 version. It's not going to look like the PlayStation 5 version.
Which like means like they'll purposely make it look shittier on the PlayStation 5, trying to trick your eyes, thinking it's like, damn, I really need like the upgraded version.
Which it's like, that's fucked up. I mean, with PlayStation, they haven't, I mean, they've gotten some, like, goodwill with the gaming itself, but in general, I mean, like, they haven't done anything that's like, holy shit, I need this now. I mean, yeah, the design looks cool and all, but it's like, where is this rest of this information? I feel like it's been very vague. And I've been a PlayStation fan from the beginning. I had a PlayStation 1, like, I remember the original PlayStation, fucking Metal Gear Solid on there, Crash Bandicoot, the original Spyro. Those were fucking classic games. And then transitioning over to then PlayStation 2 with Jak and Daxter, with Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto 3.
So many memories.
Oh, yeah, and San
the Incredible Hulk game.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk games, SpongeBob,
Monster Inc. Fucking Finding Nemo game, like the randomest shit.
I mean, the console of all consoles, PlayStation 2, because I love it. I think
Twisted Metal.
I think everyone can agree that the PlayStation 2 was probably everybody's favorite console. I mean, it had everything. I mean,
PlayStation 2, classic.
I mean, yeah, it's so classic. And then transitioning over to then,
like Atari, Dreamcast,
yeah,
PlayStation 2. Xbox 360, I feel like, because that's kind of a classic too. Like, yeah, Xbox 360, again, the Halo, Call of Duty, fucking lobby. I'll fuck your mother, bitch. It's like, it's classic. It's nostalgia. It's part of a lot of people's childhood who were like.
And then getting to the point of like, then we're getting into PlayStation 3 and the 360. I mean,
and the PSP portable, and it's just like, nah.
And then with PS3 being $600 for each kind of fucking gigabyte. I forgot how much it was. I think it was like, I forgot what were the fucking gigabytes for each of the consoles, but it was like $600 for a console, and at that time, it's like, Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. With Xbox 360, it was at a cheap price, if I'm not mistaken. It was like $300 or $400. I mean, that's better. I mean, with all the games that you ended up getting with exclusives, I mean, you had, I think, in my opinion, a masterpiece when it comes to 360 era Halo 3, which I just love. I mean, that ending was just so fucking stellar, and I feel like PlayStation definitely felt it in that sense. And then coming out,
but you also had like the Wii and shit coming out as well.
I mean,
which is like, but like Nintendo, we keep separate, but like with the Wii came out, like that was just like that motion sensor fucking remote. It was like that was the wave.
I mean, that was like we were getting into a different time, and then when we're getting into the next generation of consoles with the PS4 and then the Xbox One, I mean, Xbox tried coming out strong, but I mean, you had business people that were more inclined with having a sense for TV and not for games itself. TV box instead of an actual console itself. I mean, they like I've said before in the beginning of this video, they got their teeth kicked in several times. I mean, multiple times for years, until Phil Spencer, now the head of Xbox, took over. And then with PlayStation, they off the bat had it. I mean, they had Killzone, which came out with it. Then Infamous. I mean, they had, it's just that revving up to these exclusives, to God of War, to Spider-Man, to Death Stranding, to Horizon Zero Dawn, to The Last of Us. I mean, everybody can look at this generation cycle, PlayStation 1, I mean, their exclusives are far superior than any console that has come out. I mean, I've never seen top 10 games every single year. I mean,
and Ghost is like really
Ghost,
game of the year contender right now,
I mean,
for sure. Number one for me.
I mean, yeah, as of right now, I mean, Ghost, I mean, until Cyberpunk comes out, I mean, but let's just be honest, I feel like PlayStation has been on this pathway to just like unbeatability.